Yo, what up guys, welcome to this week's patch note video. Now, the last video I actually posted was last week's one, so I haven't actually posted anything since then, which rip, but I've been away with the family and stuff, so we're back now, and we'll be back to posting regular videos again, so don't panic, but we're going to get this one done either way, and then hopefully later tonight there'll be another one, and then we'll aim for daily or whatever, but we're back to streams as well. So, let's take a look at this. We have the Starbloom seeds coming today, so you're going to want to grab those probably and get ready for next week, because next week we get the 110 crafting update where you'll be able to actually use them, which is super useful. This says, with the release of 110 crafting just a week away, we're seeding RuneScape with a brand new flower, the Starbloom, which we talked about like a couple of weeks ago, right, when they announced all the information on it. You'll be able to get your hands on these Starbloom flower seeds ahead of time, giving you a head start on gathering the materials you'll need to begin your crafting journey. You can find them while slaying monsters, picking the pockets of NPCs, defeating select bosses, and even mining large shooting stars. So we can get them from mining here. We can get them from thieving, slayer, and bosses. We can get them from massive farmers, dwarf traders, gnomes, and what's this? Size 7 or greater is a 1 in 200 chance per swing. Okay. Slayer all these methods are probably fine, right? I'm interested to see what the Calphite King like drop rates are going to be. Croesus, I could check Croesus, right, but I'm not going to really do Croesus. But I might go do some solo Calphite King later tonight. It says here, Starbloom flower seeds will replace Quorm seeds on the Calphite King and inert adrenaline crystals on the Camel Warriors and Croesus tables. Okay, cool, that makes sense. And that's a cool idea. I like that. Seeing as, you know, the inert adrenaline crystals are worth absolutely nothing, so that's good. Once you have these seeds, they need to be planted alongside a battle staff, similar to how the grapes are grown using planks. From there, you can apply your farming knowledge to raise Starbloom flowers, which will be integral to crafting the new armors coming in 110 crafting update. So I'm going to go grab some of these. Like I say, I'll probably farm the Calphite King later on tonight to get them and see what the rates are like, and then We'll plant some of these things and have them ready to go for next week, because of course I'm going to want to take a look at that when it comes out. Now, we have the patch notes here, which is, the Starbloom flowers can be, we can get those, we know that. Removed animation delay when crafting runes at the arena altar, okay. The added blocking to the City of Portal entrance to stop players floating in the air at this location. Players who have not started the little helper quest can no longer access the City of Sofnum. Okay. Fix an issue that caused the black two-handed crossbow to deal less damage. Does that? I don't think that matters for the majority of players. Fix it, right? Of course. But damn, how did people even notice that? Like, that's crazy. Fix an issue which blocked players from opening multiple overload ingredient sets. Players should be able to exchange the overload ingredient sets in large quantities. Fix an issue where black boots were unable to be dropped from Bloodvelds. Fix an error that occurred when buying certain fur camo pieces. Fix an issue that was blocking a tree in the area around the Archaeology Guild from being accessible. Gothixian butterflies now correctly grant no XP when disabled. Okay. Fix an issue with the Abyssal Bane offhand longsword losing its Abyssal Stay on repair. The Tower of Voices and Imprisoners, whatever. Fix an issue where the crafting primal crossbows did not consume a crossbow string. Don't fix that, put it back, right? I guess. Fix some terrain and blocking around the bridge in Shallow Village. This has caused a very minor relocation of some of the fishing spots along the river to account for the fixed terrain. Fixed issue which leads to the game to crash for certain players when importing an invalid UI layout. Fixed oversized Santa hats on female chat heads. Adjusted the position of Santa hats on the character heads. Fixed a minor issue with Moloch, the Great's animation. There's a lot of fixes, basically. Fixed, hot fix, fixed. What was the hot fix? Remove dialogue from Junior regarding the Pharaoh's Folly quest. Okay. What was it? Considering this is a hot fix, does anyone know what this was? That is interesting. Fixed animation rendering issues on some NPCs. Fixed an issue with tooltips for lent items. Updated the grasping rune pouch model to help better distinguish it against standard rune pouch. Okay. Cool. Fixed an issue. We increased the rune capacity on this too, maybe. Fixed an issue where the player asked the fancy dress shop owner in Eastern Varrock to craft them more than 1.1 bill gloves. Would they be charged for those gloves but receive nothing? What? Fixed issue where if the player asks the fancy dress shop owner in Eastern Barrow to craft them more than 1.1 billion gloves, they'll be charged for them but receive nothing. Damn, okay. Fixed an issue where a persistent black screen appeared after login on Samsung devices. Okay, this is engine stuff. Fixed an issue where the client would crash on Android and crashing on Samsung devices. Okay, cool. I actually see quite often people complaining about that RuneScape Mobile is pretty much unplayable at the moment. So hopefully this fixes that. Then like they can't, whenever they log in, it just crashes, or there's just constantly crashes all over the place. So hopefully this makes a difference for you guys. Then we have this, which is interesting, because I wasn't going to cover this post because I was like, you know, it's just some fixes here, and then like this is cool, but we already know about it. But then we had this, which I thought was interesting enough to put in here, and there's also some cosmetics as well. So we have here, continuing on with our player support roadmap, the team over at Player Support and ACT have put together a page to highlight some of the statistics around their work. So the average response time, apparently, in May, this is just May mostly, and then we have like the year-to-date stuff, is 63.9 hours. That's pretty low, no? I guess. Is it? That's a few days. That's quite a few days. Ticket satisfaction score is 71%. It depends. You can't really judge this, because when we get further down, you'll see like macro bans, for example. 405,000. We'll get to this, but like if there's 405,000 macro bans, how many of those people that deserved bans appeal their ticket hoping to get it back? They say no, and then they just give them zero satisfaction, I guess. Like, you never know with this one, I suppose. Support queries resolved was 30,000 in May. They've done 161,000 this year so far. So support center views is 971,000 with 3.9 million. I guess this is like people just going onto the page, I suppose. Report action messages. So this is this messages they've sent to players who've actually submitted reports, I guess, to say like, we've taken action on that report. This is 73,000 in May, and 180,000 pretty much so far this year. I don't think this started in January though, so maybe it did. Macro bans is the interesting one. This is crazy, because if you look at this, right, in May there was 8,600 RuneScape 3 bans of macros. Macros could be anything, right? It could actually just be a macro, it could be a bot, or it could be like an auto clicker, I suppose. Anything that plays the game for you. So also RuneScape has 405,000. 405,000. That's crazy. But year to date is 56,000 for RuneScape 3, 1.48 million for old school RuneScape year to date, which means like look how much was done this month alone. That's a massive chunk of this for May, and then year to date. What the frick happened in May, guys? Was for people who actually play old school, is there a reason that May had so many like more macros, or I guess bots in May? Because that's crazy, no? GP removed is so this one interests me as well. This is a strange one too. So for May, we had 19.7 bill removed from RuneScape 3, which is nothing compared to old school RuneScape's 1.63 trillion just from May, which I guess is reflective of this as well. So what happened in old school for May? There's got to have been something. But look at this. Year to date, RuneScape 3, 11.9 trillion gold has been removed this year, just this year, from January till now. That's more than old school RuneScape, and they're getting these numbers in 1 month. We got 19.7 bill in 1 month, but we've had 11.9 trill. Was there a dupe that we didn't know about? Was there a duplication? Is this the Santa hat thing? When was the Santa hat thing? I don't know. What is this? Because if you look at this, you can kind of believe this number, right? Like, okay, yeah, 1 month was 1.6. I know it's only been like 6 months or 5 months so far in this, but I guess a couple of months they had like really high numbers. If we're doing 20 bill in a month, where did this come from? This is crazy. This has to have been a dupe or something that I didn't know about, or something happened that like was farming a crap ton of money and they've got rid of it. I don't know. I'm really interested in these numbers, though. I like that they're sharing these for sure. It's interesting. Let me know. Is there something that I'm missing with these that I didn't know about that would cause these numbers to be like this? Like this, so this doesn't make sense unless there was a massive duplication glitch and they were like, oh shit, and they got rid of it. Real world trading bans. So in real world RWT bans, we had 321 in RuneScape 3. And shockingly, 12,000 in old school RuneScape. Who would have guessed, right? Makes sense. I mean, there's way more players in old school anyway. But why would you don't live in a real world trade in RuneScape 3 anywhere near as much as old school, I suppose. Then the chat spam mutes is 4K and 20,500 years a day. Cool. I think most of these are old school too, because we rarely get these in RuneScape 3 these days. And then finally, we have the Treasure Hunter calendar with a new like Assassin's Return and a new override. They're not that my cup of tea. You know, these aren't really my sort of like. I think these look pretty meh. But I can see quite a lot of people liking these, thinking they're nice. The lanterns are cool. The outfits there for me, but like I guess the lanterns are alright. But there you go. That's it pretty much. There's a community bit down here with some really cool artwork as usual, and then there's a rune tube level 70. Wait, what level? Oh, yeah, levels. I'll say I'm sure it's a level 78 is okay. That's nuts. I'm gonna watch that later. That's actually insane. What the frick? That's actually crazy. And then there's some more community stuff. Awesome. Right. Well, hopefully you found this video useful. Like I said, I know, and I feel bad posting like news post and then a week off because I was away, and then no, the news post because that week's flown. But I do have more content coming, and I will have another video up tonight, hopefully. And then we'll work on some other stuff. I'm going to get ready for next week with this. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Have a good one. Bye.